garden rests quietly between the boundary wall and the house, held in a space that feels both close and complete. The path draws the eye inward, not far, just enough to notice how the light settles across its surface. Nothing shifts. The air appears still, as if sound itself has softened before entering. The walls gently contain the space, keeping everything close, within reach of a glance. The house stands just beyond, present but silent, as though it has always been watching over this small, calm arrangement. There is no sense of urgency here, only a quiet pause where the morning light lingers without interruption. The space feels held in place, framed gently by the fence and the house that sits just beyond it. The distance between the edge of the garden and the door is small, almost immediate, creating a quiet sense of closeness. Light spreads evenly, touching every surface without urgency. The gravel rests undisturbed, each piece settled into its position. The enclosure keeps the outside world at a distance, leaving only this contained stillness. Nothing calls for attention. The garden simply exists, quiet and complete, where every detail feels settled into its place. The walls rise closely on either side, shaping the garden into a quiet corridor of stillness. The path moves across the space in a short, deliberate line, never extending too far. Light touches the surfaces gently, resting rather than moving. The house closes the scene at the far end, keeping everything contained within a small, defined boundary. There is a calm sense of pause here, where nothing extends beyond what can be seen. The air feels settled, undisturbed, as though time itself has slowed within these walls. The courtyard holds a quiet stillness between the gate and the door, a space defined more by its boundaries than its size. The distance is short, almost immediate, allowing the eye to take in everything at once. Light rests evenly across the ground without sharp contrast or movement. The gate stands closed, gently separating this small enclosure from anything beyond it. The house remains close, steady and silent, completing the sense of containment. There is nothing to interrupt the calm, only a quiet presence that lingers in the space. The light softens as it reaches across the small yard, settling gently along the stones. The boundary wall keeps everything close, defining a quiet edge that contains the space. The house sits just beyond, steady and familiar, anchoring the scene. There is a sense that nothing has changed here for some time, as though the space exists outside of urgency. The path offers a direction, but not a destination far away. Everything remains within a calm, enclosed presence where stillness feels natural and uninterrupted. The gate marks the edge of the space, a quiet threshold that leads into a garden that feels contained and close. The walkway extends only a short distance, ending near the porch where the house quietly stands. Light spreads gently across the surfaces, without harshness or motion. The enclosure creates a sense of calm separation, as though the outside world has softened before reaching this place. Everything feels settled, held within a quiet boundary where nothing demands attention. The space feels gently compressed between the two walls, shaping a quiet passage that leads only a short distance. The path sits at the center, steady and undisturbed. Light settles evenly, touching both walls and the ground without creating movement. The house remains close, its presence constant and calm. There is no sense of change, only a quiet stillness that holds the space together. Everything remains within view, contained and complete. The hedge and fence create a gentle boundary, enclosing the space without closing it completely. The garden remains small, held close to the house behind it. The light warms the scene, resting quietly across the paved ground. Nothing shifts or changes and the air feels still. The entrance sits just beyond, within easy reach, reinforcing the closeness of the space. It feels calm, contained, and quietly complete. The courtyard remains quiet within its walls, defined by its closeness and simplicity. The path moves directly forward, ending quickly at the door. Light spreads evenly, soft and still, without drawing attention to any one place. The house stands as a steady presence, completing the enclosure. There is a calm sense of pause, where nothing moves and nothing needs to. The space feels whole within its boundaries. The stone wall and house create a quiet boundary that keeps the space contained and close. The walkway stretches only a short distance, leading gently toward the entrance. Light falls softly, creating a calm rhythm across the ground. There is no movement, no interruption, only a steady presence that fills the space. Everything remains within reach of a glance, held together by the quiet enclosure. The fence and wall form a quiet enclosure that gently holds the garden in place. The path aligns directly with the doorway, creating a simple, clear line within the small space. Light rests softly across the surfaces without drawing attention. The house stands close, steady and silent. There is no sense of motion, only a calm stillness that fills the space completely. The enclosure feels complete, with walls surrounding the space and the house closing the final edge. The path moves quietly across the ground, contained within the small area. Light softens as it settles, creating a calm, even presence. Nothing shifts or changes, and the space feels held in a gentle stillness. Everything remains within a quiet boundary where time feels paused. The gate marks the edge of the space, gently separating it from the outside. The garden remains small and close, with the house just behind it. Light spreads softly without direction or urgency. The paved surface sits quietly, undisturbed. There is a calm stillness that fills the enclosure, where nothing moves and nothing changes. The space feels complete within its boundaries. The light begins to soften as it rests across the small yard, bringing a quiet warmth to the enclosed space. The fence and house create a gentle boundary, holding everything close. The path leads directly to the door, never extending beyond what can be seen. There is a stillness that settles into the space, where nothing moves and nothing needs to. The garden remains quiet, contained, and complete as the light slowly fades without interruption.